Normally with a 401k plan, especially a sponsored plan, you have what they call a 401k administrator, which is a professional management company of money, like a brokerage company, but they manage your 401k. They also give you, different options to be able to put that money in to grow it over time.
My name is AB Ridgeway. I'm the host of the Ridgeway Report. And today I am very excited. We are going to go over a video entitled Stop Contributing to Your 401k. This is my reaction to Richard Fain. I hope I'm saying your name right, brother. Also, as always, I have the notes here because I am not a professional speaker, but I am going to give my reaction to some of the things that he's saying, and you can follow along on the video about what I'm doing. What I recommend is that you screenshot that if you want to look at my notes.
I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube about 401ks, pros and cons. And today I'm gonna give you my little 2 cents. Now, of course, I'm not a retirement expert. I'm not a 401k expert. I'm not a CPA. I'm none of that stuff. So my recommendation is you go out and make sure you get yourself some professional help before you make any decisions about whether you want to start contributing to a 401k, stop contributing. Get you some professional help.
Amen. And we rarely see this where people are saying you need a professional. Yes, you can get some guidance from me. Yeah, I have some tips, some personal experience, but when it really comes down to, are you going to be able to take that information and apply it to your own life? You need to get professional help. And I love this, how he is making sure that he's not going to be responsible for the decisions that you're making, because you can't track him down and sue him for some bad information. But if you get some professional help and there becomes a problem, then you may have a case.
I'm not a professional, but here's my little 2 cents. When I was 28 years old, I started investing in my company sponsored 401k program. Now, why did I do that? Well, number one, co-workers of mine were doing it and they were seeing some pretty good results. So I'm thinking to myself, I got zero net worth right now. These people who I work with, their net worth is going up every year because they're doing this 401k thing.
You become the company that you keep. You see how he said, I have a zero net worth. The people I was looking up to were investing in this 401k. So I'm going to do that too. This is what we kind of consider groupthink. A majority of people, when they don't have any goals or things that they want to accomplish, they pretty much just adopt the goals and ambitions of the people that are around them. That's why it's very crucial that when we are picking our friends, when we're picking people that we are going to listen to, that we pick people that are in the positions in which we want to achieve, because they have something that most people don't, which is a real life experience. They know the pros and they know the cons. No matter how good something is, there's going to be some cons. Yes. You could be a business owner and you can have all the freedom to travel when you want to, take off without having to check in with the boss or talk about PTO, but your business is running 24 hours around the clock and you are going to be responsible for everything. So that's a con. Are you able to exchange that freedom for that restriction? If you're hanging around people who say 401ks are evil, you shouldn't invest, and they don't have any money in retirement, that is what you're going to end up as at the end of your retirement career. Also, when people say 401ks were a scam, I got taxed over 50%, you don't know the details. Maybe they made a wrong decision trying to do it themselves as opposed to getting some professional help, but they're trying to cope and their ego is not telling them I made a mistake. They're trying to self-soothe by convincing you that what they did was right and that 401k is the enemy instead of their ignorance. And when I mean by ignorance, not stupidity, them not knowing. That's why you're here on the Ridgeway Report, because you want to know.
Even though I don't know much about it, I probably should look into it and start doing it myself. Second reason was the company that I worked for, they gave what they call a 401k match. So when I put money in there out of my paycheck, they would match a certain percentage of that or a certain dollar amount. So it was almost like free money.
All right, I want to talk about this free money that people talk about. And I'm not putting free in quotation marks because it's not free, because technically as an employee, it's an employee benefit. So where do you find your employee benefit? In your employee benefit guide. So a lot of administrators or HR departments will have these employee benefits that outline what they're actually going to give you that is non-monetary. Sometimes that could be medical insurance, dental insurance, vision insurance, pay some of your premiums, things of that nature. Also, the fees associated with your 401k as an employer, that is a benefit. But when you leave, you may be charged those administrative fees, management fees, things of that nature, and you not know it because you're thinking everything is just going to be the same. I'm just going to leave my money there. Now, with that said, when you go to your employee benefits packet, when you get that request from HR, it's going to outline how much they're actually going to contribute. Sometimes it could be 1-2% of the contributions, dollar for dollar, and beyond that, maybe 0.5% up to the maximum, because there is a maximum amount that you can actually contribute every year that's set by the federal government that is going to shift based on inflation. But once again, you need to know what those maximums are, because if you are going to match, you need to know how much you're going to put in or how much money you're actually leaving on the table for alternatives. Because when you get a match, it's a guaranteed income, because if you contribute $1, they contribute $1. You don't have to worry about market fluctuations because their dollar is coming into your account. Now, once again, there's a lot of nuances that come there. Some people may not be qualified. They may not have worked there long enough. That's why we need your employee benefits as a financial advisor to see exactly what are the rules around this contribution. When can you get it? How much can you contribute, and how that's going to affect your overall goal. So if you need help, this is getting a little bit complicated, make sure that you schedule a consultation with me so I can walk you through your employee benefits, what your matches look like, and help you through retirement so you are not leaving any dollar on the table.
I'm thinking to myself, shoot, that sounds good to me. My company, they already paying me a paycheck, but they want to also give me some extra money to go in my retirement account. Perfect. Let me do that. The third reason I did it was because I wanted to be able to build wealth and have an expert be over my retirement accounts. And normally with a 401k plan, especially a sponsored plan, you have what they call a 401k administrator, which is a professional management company of money, like a brokerage company, but they manage your 401k. They also give you, different options to be able to put that money in to grow it over time. I didn't have to be the expert. I didn't have to go out and do a whole bunch of homework. I didn't have to keep up with everything, all the paperwork. They did it all.
This is a great point. He had professional management for something that is very complex. He handed it to somebody who knew what they were talking about instead of him doing all the research. Now, as a financial advisor with over a decade of experience, a certified private wealth advisor, an enrolled agent that can practice in front of the IRS, a certified divorce financial analyst, and my MBA in finances, I will tell you this, that professional management is great, but there is a level of accountability and things that you need to do as well. Yes, they can do all the moving hard parts. Yes, they can educate you about the taxation, the withdrawals, things of that nature. You still need a level of understanding of what the 401k is actually going to do so you can make good, rational decisions about your own personal life. So being aware of the taxation, you could set the proper expectations. So when you reach retirement, there's no anguish. So go check that out. Richard, shout out to you for listening to people who have done it, being able to articulate it in a great way, and hopefully add a little bit of value to your video. But you are doing a great job. To your followers, much respect. And now I understand where you are and why you are. All right. Well, that's it for me. My name is AB Ridgeway, and this has been another Ridgeway Report.